Hello guys, today we're going to talk about the movie House of Wax, the 1953 version with Vincent Price. Now I do want to clarify, there is a late 90s, early 2000s remake. I haven't seen it, but I heard it sucks balls, so I'm not even going to get into that. There's actually a slightly older version of this movie, an original, that actually came with the movie, the disc I have, on the flip side, and I didn't realize that till later, and I might cover that one in the future, but right now we're going to focus on this one now. Now, I think they put it on both because both movies aren't not very long. I mean, let's get into the details here, and I'll talk more about it after. The movie was released in 1953. Rating wise, they said GP, so I think that meant general public. Rating system was a bit weird, a bit different at that point. Watching it now, it's definitely not G. Definitely not. Equivalent now, I think PG would have been fine. There are definitely a few moments where it might flirt with PG-13, but in all honesty, PG I think is solid. I mean, I think it's a good movie to introduce kids to horror, but I will warn you, there are some pretty intense scenes in here. Even though a lot of those intense scenes don't really use gore, they're still a little intense. So you might want to take a look at it before deciding if your kid should watch it or not. But if they're getting toward the preteen age, then it's fine. If they're like below, depending on the kid, but if they're below like 12, then you might have to take a look. Below 10, I think might be pushing it, but you know your kids better than me, so you know what you can get away with. So just a heads up on that. And the movie's an hour 20 long. It's not a long movie, so that's always fun. It's released on DVD in 2003 too. It has a 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb with about 14,000-ish audience people. The movie does not have a Metacritic rating. It stars Vincent Price, who was in House on Haunted Hill and a bunch of other cool little horror movies. And Frank Lovejoy, who was in A Lonely Place, which I don't think he was the lead guy. The lead guy was Humphrey Bogart, I believe, but yeah, he was in that. The movie is directed by Andre DeTooth, who also directed The Gunfighter. On Rotten Tomatoes, the movie has 95% by critics with 40 critics and 72% by audience, about 1,100-ish audience people. The critics' consensus on Rotten Tomatoes is House of Wax is a 3D novice delight. I believe it's novice delight that combines the atmosphere eeriness of the Wax Museum with the always chilling presence of Vincent Price. Yeah, that sounds right. The movie is available to rent and buy on Microsoft Store, Vudu, and iTunes, and it's available to buy only on PlayStation Store. Now the movie, I love this movie. I watched it with my sister. She loved it too, which says something because she's not a big old movie person. The movie is in color, and it looks stunning in color. And the movie was released in 3D, like it said, and it actually did very well in 3D. If you're gonna watch it, the thing that stands out, acting's fantastic, especially from Vincent Price. The atmosphere is fantastic. It has great horror atmosphere. There's a lot of eerie. Yeah, the critics' consensus really says all. The atmosphere is incredibly eerie and very well done. The color is rich in tone. The story's pretty good too. It's kind of creepy and it's a bit more. It's very theatrical playish, but it does a great job of presenting itself with a lot of flair and class. The story, acting, atmosphere, it's directed well too. I like that they chose to. I'll do a lot of cool shots, and I love the opening's fantastic too because it sucks you right in very quickly. And Vincent Price is awesome, as always. There's not really any flaws with the film. The special effects are pretty cool. Some people, if they really, really wanted to look, maybe they could notice something, but I didn't notice anything. The soundtrack's pretty good too. It was really eerie and very classical feel, and I love that. The movie does have kind of Victorian era feel to it. I believe the movie does take place, I think, in the Victorian era, but correct me if I'm wrong in that. From what I remember, it does not take place in the 50s. It definitely took place in the Victorian era, so it has that feel to it too, which is awesome. But outside of that, there's not really much else to say about it without getting to spoilers. But the special effects are awesome for this time period. The color is rich. Everything's great. I will say towards the middle ish, there's actually an intermission in this movie. Like back in the day, movies used to have a lot of like, because the first movies were like plays, like Broadway plays and regular plays and stuff. So when movies were kind of beginning, they kind of had those vibes to it. Like silent films was a bit of a different breed, but once movies started to get talkies and started to be more special, like they started to get the hang of the visuals, they started to make them more like play productions. Um, Fill me in on details that comes for anyone who knows this, because I'm just kind of going by what I've seen and what I read, but I'm not a complete expert in it. I'm more of a very passionate fan of it. So anyone who has any info on the changes in the habits, let me know in the comments. I always look forward to learning more about these kind of things. But yeah, it's a very good movie. I say for a horror movie, it's a very good horror movie. Um, I don't really remember a lot of campy moments because the movie does a good job of delivering some creepy shockingness stuff, and some of the stuff could be a little disturbing too. But you have to watch the movie for yourself to understand that. In terms of availability, the movie unfortunately it's not the most available movie in the world. You can find the DVD on Amazon. I haven't seen a Blu-ray release, but I imagine some company out there's planning one at some point. Um, I saw some Vincent Price DVD packs that has the movie. But yeah, I recommend getting the DVD because it comes with the previous one. I did look up the previous one a little bit, and that one actually did all right too. So you might get a good original in that one too. I don't know which one's better. I'm gonna probably say this version's probably the better version based on what I've seen, but everyone has their own taste. But yeah, you're gonna have to dig a little bit, but it's well worth the viewing. And to even add to your DVD collection as well, if you feel like doing that sort of thing. But yeah, guys, it's a great movie. Check it out. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.